Welcome to Mad Marketing TV. My name is Jeff Ogden, the host of Mad Marketing TV, and we're really excited to have another great guest today. Randy Garn, author of this book, Prosper, Create the Life You Really Want. And at the top, if I could put it close, you can see 6 practices to find lasting money and happiness. So to our audience, what is more important than finding money and happiness in your life? So let's learn about Randy. Now, we had originally planned to talk to both Etahn Willis and Randy Garn about 6 prosperity practices to find lasting money and happiness. Unfortunately, Etahn can't come today, but we're lucky because we have the better looking and smarter one, Randy Garn. Now, Randy is a nationally recognized author and entrepreneur, and together with Etahn, they founded Prosper Inc., a leading company in the one-to-one distance education market. So with that said, let's welcome Randy to the show.
Hey, Jeff. Good morning. Hope you're doing well.
Oh, absolutely. I love this topic because I think, to our audience watching the show, what's more important than finding money and happiness in your life? That's just about as core as it gets.
Isn't that why we all live? You gotta find that good work-life balance.
Right. Money so I can take care of my family, and happiness so, I can enjoy life. So tell me a little bit about, you wrote this book and you have all these ideas on the book. With our audience, why don't you just share kind of an overview of what Prosper is and the kind of ideas that you espouse?
We wrote the book after about 13 years of doing this business. We have an online education company. We train entrepreneurs all over the world. We've had over 75,000 people come through our courses, and we really focus on small business and entrepreneurship. After doing this for 13 years, we work with a lot of thought leaders and a lot of gurus, and it was just something that was driving us to explain, all of these people had something in common, and they were looking for more than just money. And so we came up with a pretty good formula for what people are really looking for in life, and it's money plus happiness plus sustainability equals prosperity. And so we wrote the book to help people to really find out how they make the most out of their life. So it was a fun project.
Yeah, Randy, it sounds like it was a lot of fun, and I think when you talk to these experts, you probably did start to uncover commonality. So why don't you share with us, the ideas that you have in the book about Polaris points and asking these deep self-examination type of questions that I saw in your book?
Yeah, and the book was meant to be a really practical guide. It's a read. You can pick it up. It's in all airports. You can go to Amazon and get it as well. But we got six prosperity practices that we like to follow. And really, the first practice is locate your Polaris point. And when you locate your Polaris point, what we're talking about is finding your real, true, envisioned future. It's your North Star. It's that immovable thing that you want to accomplish between now and the end of your life, what you want to be remembered for. And we really encourage people, it's one of the hardest things to do in your life, but we really encourage people to take the time and figure out what that is. There was a palliative nurse that worked with thousands of people, and before they died, she said that number one thing that people said is that I wish I would have lived the life that was true to myself and not the life that others wanted me to live. And so, we've got an opportunity now in the internet marketing age is to really be our own entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs in business. So we really want people to find out what their Polaris point is. It's very unique.
Randy, that is, I think, some amazingly important advice, because I think all of us could think of what it's like to be at the end of our lives and look back and say, did we accomplish the things we wanted to, or did we just go to work and earn a paycheck and live from day to day? So, I think that advice of really examining who you are and what you want to accomplish, it just doesn't get any more important than that. So what are some of the others for a lot of, small and medium businesses here? People are probably overworked, stressed out, trying to get so much done with limited resources. What would you say to those folks about how these ideas can actually benefit them?
Well, and as you go through the 6 practices, the other one really is is to live in the prosper zone. And also, if you're having a hard time, if you're really waking up tired, sluggish, not engaged in your job, we really urge people to find that, what we call the prosperity zone. It's when you're in the flow. It's when, like, you go to work and you're like, oh my gosh, that day went so incredibly fast, and you loved what you do. Doesn't mean that it's easy, but you actually loved what you were doing so much that the time just flew by. And we really urge people, again, once you find your Polaris point, it's so much easier to live in that zone. But if people are a little bit right now the statistic is between the ages of 18 and 44, people change their job 11.4 times. And so it's crazy. We call that the boom crash cycle, is that you're doing really well, and then all of a sudden you're like, man, I can't do this anymore. And so if you don't really live in that prosperity zone, your work isn't sustainable, and you'll keep starting over. And so we really want people to really try to find that thing that they love to do and that they do well, and their profits can mix with their passions.
Interesting, Randy. There's one thing I want to ask you about here, because it's something that I experienced yesterday. I was at a social media conference, and we were talking about things like personal branding. And there was a young lady who worked for a company, and she handled social media for the company. So she's very active on social media. And he asked her, what have you done to build your personal brand out there? And she said, nothing. And he said, well, if you lose your job, what happens? And I think, finding your Polaris point, living in the Polaris zone is all about you taking responsibility for yourself and building your own brand. What is your advice for folks who work for other companies of what they need to do for themselves?
Personal branding is so critical nowadays. And so we actually call that, earning from your core, or your own personal vibe. And we have a student, and I mean, we have so many thousands of examples, but there's a lady that we work with that was a NASA engineer, and she went to work every single day, but she wasn't happy at what she did. What her passions were ballroom dancing, ballet, and folk dancing. And finally, we helped her really understand what she loved doing, what her personal vibe was, what her personal brand was. But she needed to get that out and start a dancing website. And so she actually set up a website online, doing incredible marketing, very passionate about it. And within 18 months, she was able to quit NASA and to really feel fulfilled in what she did and accomplished. And within 18 months, she was able to work at home and spend the time that she wanted with her kids. And now she's the dance lady. So she's got her own personal vibe. She's creating money from what she really loves to do. And so I think, again, it's especially in today's world, the marketplace and marketing there's nothing more fun than marketing and sales for me. And so it's really when you find what you love to do and finding all those people that also love what you do, what attracts people to you and what do you love to do will help you to kind of find your own purpose.
Randy, I think you've got some apt advice for folks for taking responsibility and taking control of their own lives. How can people watching this show, well, first of all, before I get into this, give me like one takeaway. The one thing you want people to remember who watch this show, right? They watch a show. What is the one thing you want them to remember?
The one thing I want them to remember is that, starting your own business or marketing or entrepreneurship, it is like driving a car at night. You can only see 10 feet in front of you, but you make the whole trip that way. People have to take profound action. And even though I think most people don't take that profound action because of fear, but what we want to help people understand is that just get started. And to get going and to get moving and to take that profound action is the one takeaway I would love people to be able to do. If there's something that you're urging to do, 75% of people want to either write a book or start a business and be their own boss. And so I think in today's economy, there's no better time to get that started than now. And so that's the one advice I would give people is get started and take profound action.
Great advice. Get started and take profound action. I mean, I certainly went through that myself, and I couldn't be happier now to be able to interview people like you, Randy. Now, tell us about how can we learn more about Prosper and what you and Ethan are doing in your organization.
Yeah, the best way to learn about what we're doing, we love, our slogan is, your life is your business, helping it prosper is ours. And so we are, what our brand is and what we're trying to do is, if you want to start a business, if you want to get something going online, if you want to learn about branding and marketing, we are the perfect place. We actually pair people up with a one-on-one mentor so that to help you overcome any of the pitfalls that you may run into. And so the best way to find out about us is go to our book, prosperbook.com, and on there you can actually take a free assessment. And that free assessment will help you to kind of find out where you're at with your balance between money, happiness, and sustainability. And then we'll be happy to as well if you want to call us, and we can help you learn more about what we do.
Thanks, Randy. That's some great information. I urge everyone to check out prosperbook.com and learn about what they do. So until the next show, I hope you have a great, keep marketing, and create a happy life. Okay? We'll see you next time on Mad Marketing TV.